Hi there, Paul Bondy, Home Solutions Realty Group, sellersaves.com. So I wanted to share with you today, I ran into a fellow realtor, somebody I consider a friend this morning. And as usual, I'm always curious. I want to ask questions every time I run into anybody, whether it be a fellow associate, a fellow realtor, or if it's just friends, family, acquaintances, anybody I run into that might be considered selling their house or even buying, because it's really imperative. I want to make sure people are visiting sellersaves.com and learning more about that direct result of the lawsuit that came about and went into effect in the real estate industry August 17th. We are now here post again August 17th, and when I ran into this fellow realtor this morning, I said, so hey, how's it going? What are you seeing? You hearing anything? What's the feedback? And his immediate reaction was business as usual. You know, little extra disclosure here, little comment there, and we're going to still keep collecting, and we're going to keep taking 5 and 6% listings, and we're going to just, tell the co-ops this is what we're paying, and business as usual. And of course, I engaged right away, and I'm like, but how can you, how can you justify this? How do you get away with this? And what I'm finding, and certainly this is even more in line with the larger big box brand realty companies, because when you look at this from a business perspective, it's going to be really difficult to maintain a profit margin when there's a threat and fear of a more capitalistic, open market, free market negotiation of commissions. So I don't want to name names here, but the big box brands are still aligning and encouraging their agents to go out and list at business as usual. And that's not supposed to be what's happening here. They're saying, I'm seeing reels and videos that are getting posted by fellow agents with a house with a sign out front, and it says no commission being paid by this seller, and then the next house it says this seller's offering compensation for the broker side, the buyer broker side of it. And then there's actor buyers in the video as well, or a friend of the realtor, and they're like, oh, I don't want to see that house if there's no commission being paid. But there's ignorance with all this, and I'm going to explain why. Because people aren't really being completely transparent and honest here. And frankly, it hacks me off, and as a consumer, you equally should be upset about this. The problem is you don't know what you don't know. And again, this is why sellersaves.com was created. And, let me kind of throw it out there now. We're still building content. We're still building videos, but we felt it, and my personality, I don't like putting anything out there unless unless it's perfect. And right now, I know the site itself is not what I want it to be, but the message is still more important than anything else, whether or not an I got totted or a T got crossed in some of the content. What's most important is, are we getting the message out to the consumers? We need to get this message out. Sellers and buyers, learn more about the process, ask questions, and know this: buyer and seller side. Buyer broker contracts, 100% negotiable. Seller listing contracts, 100% negotiable. And anybody that's telling you that if you don't do it at this way, you're not going to be able to sell your home, or you're not going to get the representation you need, again, I challenge that, because what I'm seeing and what I believe at the end of the day, this change was designed to make it a better and more improved market and a relationship with the buyers and the sellers and everybody involved in the transaction. Any argument that agents are having today it is, and I'm treading delicately here because I know it's going to upset a tremendous amount of people in my business. the reality is, I don't know how anybody can look a buyer or a seller in the face and say my $600,000 property that a $36,000 or a $30,000 commission is warranted, when today in the market we still are in, or at least here in Pennsylvania, the eastern side of the state, stuff still sells, and it sells quickly. And I personally, again, I don't feel comfortable saying, hey, write that check for $30,000 after this house sells. There's more to these stories, and what I want and hope as a direct result of these videos that we're creating, both myself and my business partner, Len DeFinis, is awareness. Because the impact is huge, and the benefit, if handled properly, is paramount for both the buyer and the seller. So please continue to visit sellersaves.com. My name is Paul Bondy. Please hit the contact us button. We'll be notified. We'll reach out. We'll set up a private one-on-one seminar, a one-on-one Teams call, a Zoom call, a conference call. Learn the facts, understand the facts before you enter into any agreements. It's imperative, and it'll save you thousands of dollars. Thank you so much. Again, sellersaves.com, and this is Paul Bondy, signing off.